Hey guys, it's Kelly. Today I have a short tutorial for you on how to properly warm up your wrists to make sure you protect them from injury. On yoga, we do a lot of weight bearing on our hands, and so if you're not used to that or you don't warm up your wrists properly, you really could get an injury. I know from me, several years ago, it's actually funny, I was scooping a litter box and something tweaked in my wrist. So I really got into how to protect myself after that because it affected my yoga practice. It also affected how I hold my instruments. I'm a musician, and holding the English horn got to be too much on my wrist. So I've had to really nurture it back, and I want to share some of the warm-ups and stretches that I do with you to not only benefit and hopefully improve your yoga practice, but if you're a musician, also some warm-ups you can do to help protect your wrists. So, roll out your mat. Let's get started. We'll begin with some wrist circles. So just hold your wrists out in front of you and rotate in one direction. And then rotate in the other. Nice and slowly. Then extend the arms out straight, spread the fingertips nice and wide, like starbursts. Good, and then make a fist, tight fist, squeeze, squeeze, and then starburst hands, so really spread the fingers wide. Make a fist, spread the fingers. Do this motion, imagine that you've got water in your hands and you're flicking it off, and then slowly speed it up. Flick the hands. Can you go faster? Okay, good. Shake that out. Now I'll take your left hand, grab a hold of your right wrist, and we're gonna pull the skin down. So imagine you take the skin at the bottom of the hand, the top of the wrist, pull it down close to the elbow. It's not gonna go to the elbow, but that's the direction we're going. Then make a fist, and then do your circles here. Rotate the wrist. So what'll happen is that'll just elevate that stretch here because the skin is taut. And then switch directions. Good. Other side, right hand, right wrist, pull the skin down, make a fist, and rotate. And other direction. I always go kind of slowly here, taking my time. Each day is different depending on what I feel like my wrists need. So I might do it longer or slower. And then come forward into a tabletop position. And oftentimes here, we just plop into this pose and we don't think about our wrists. But if you're putting most of your weight into the heel of your hand, then that's a lot of extra strain on the wrist and it can lead to an injury. So I want you to put the weight and ground down into the mat through the pads of the tops of the fingers and then each knuckle mound at the base of each finger. So really press the fingertips into the mat and then feel the knuckle mounds. The weight should be out of the heel of the hand. Pull the belly button into the spine so we're engaging through the core. And this is your tabletop. It's very active. Press the mat away. Good. And as you move through your planks and different things, use that positioning of the hands to help protect the wrists. Okay, next up, fingertips point towards the edges of the mat. Thumbs point towards the top of the mat. And slowly rock left to right. Very slow movements. Don't rush this process. We don't want to create an injury. We're just stretching the wrists and warming them up for the movement we're about to do. And then fingertips point towards the knees. For me, I could not get my fingertips to point this direction for a very long time. So if that does not feel good, come back to this position with the fingertips pointing out. But if you have them pointing towards the knees, maybe this is enough and you feel the stretch on your forearms. Or you can slightly rock back and forward. Depending on your wrist flexibility, you might be able to come pretty far back, but for me, I'm pretty much vertical here. I cannot stretch further than this without discomfort, so I'm staying where I'm at, listening to my body. All right, guys, come out of that one. This time, plant the left hand down like you're in your normal tabletop. Turn the right palm over so the top of the hand is on the mat. Fingertips point towards the left side. And just rock a little bit, massaging the hand. And then slowly lift up each finger. Don't make a tight fist, just slowly lift them up, find movement, a loose fist here. Good, and then release, other side. Turn the left palm over, gentle rocks to massage the wrist. And then slowly move the hands. Good, then come back to your tabletop, sit back on the heels, rotate the wrists, give it a few flicks. One last thing to do if you want to build strength in your wrists is you can come back to your tabletop and we can kind of do little, I'm going to call them push-ups. So lift the heel of the hand, weight is into the knuckle mounds and the tops of the finger pads, and then down, and lift, and down. One more, and lift, and down. I want to do a couple of those because I don't want to add any extra strain. And then you can turn both tops of the hands over. Some people might be in a tabletop position. For me, I walk my hands closer to my knees. So you're responsible for how much weight you distribute. But then you can just turn the tops of the hands over, fingertips point in, and slowly bend the elbows here. Not really putting all of our weight there, mostly in my knees. But it's a different motion for the wrists. Good, and then slowly come back. Give it another shake. Roll up the fingers. And there you go. Let me know if that helps you and if you tried them out. And I'll see you next time. Bye.